Christian Association of Nigeria has confirmed a disturbing rise in targeted attacks and killings of Christians. CAN is also demanding urgent government action to protect lives and also uphold justice. In its latest statement, CAN calls on the federal government to take immediate and decisive action to protect lives and uphold justice and restore public confidence in national security as communities mourn and questions mount. The association urges leaders to confront the crisis with transparency and compassion. Well, joining me to discuss this is Reverend Father Patrick Alumuku. He is the Director of Communication, Catholic Diocese of Abuja. He joins me after the break. Stay with us. We will be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. All right, we, of course, resume the conversation right now around, of course, allegations at targeted killing of Christians in the country, which, of course, has been at the front burner of conversations beyond even the Nigerian, what I call it, space. Now, joining me on this conversation is Reverend Father Patrick Alumuku. He's the Director of Communication, Catholic Diocese of Abuja. Thank you for your time, sir. Let me start by making reference to a U.S. Senator, Ted Cruz. I mean, this conversation is on the heels of a conversation that sort of started, not even recently, it's been on, but U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, in a recent interview, alleged that more than 52,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria since 2009, and over 20,000 churches and Christian schools have been destroyed, even though the federal government has come out to describe all of this allegation by the U.S. Senator as false and baseless. I'd like you to speak on this, sir. Is this really the situation?
Well, let me begin by telling you a story I heard some years back about politicians and clergymen. It's the story of this clergyman who died and went up there, and he met a politician. And St. Peter was supposed to show them where they would stay. So St. Peter first took the clergyman to his little place in heaven, little room, a little bed, a small table, and a small chair. And he said, well, this is your place, clergyman. The politician was feeling a little bit worried. He said, well, I wonder what they'll give to me. If they're giving almost everything to the clergyman. So St. Peter immediately took him over to his own place. And what did he see? He found a big house, lots of flowers, servants, and all that. And St. Peter said, well, this is your house. And the politician said, so why would you give the holy clergyman such a small room and give me such a big house? And then St. Peter said to the politician, he said, look, there is the law here that we give to the clergymen rooms because there are many clergymen. So give them these little rooms, each of them. There are many. But since we have not seen any politician, we will give you the best room, the biggest house that is available. And that is how the politician ended up with such a big house. Now, I'm saying this in the light of all the discussions we have had these days about the politicians, especially Nigerian politicians, speaking about the situation of Christians in this country in a way that it's so strange Because, and that is why many politicians, St. Peter would say, don't go to heaven, because they want to be politically correct, and they are telling a story which they want people to buy, but which is not actually the truth. So the situation of Christians in Nigeria is known worldwide. And today they are, the statistics show that Nigeria is the country in which Christians are being slaughtered and being killed more than any other nation on earth. And because of this, Nigeria has become a center of attention. Ted Cruz is speaking now, but already the Canadian Senate has also spoken about the situation of Nigerian Christians. You know, who will not tell the truth? A couple of years back, a bishop from Nigeria went over to the United States, to the Senate, and discussed with them about the situation of Christians in Nigeria. He was telling the truth because he himself was affected. Priests have been killed in Nigeria. Nuns have been killed in Nigeria. Pastors killed in Nigeria. Churches are burnt. There is no place in Nigeria that has not been affected by this situation.
I mean,
so when people come here and tell you, oh well, it's not just a Christian affair, it affects also Muslims. You know what my friend told me? My friend said, well, after having killed like 50,000 Christians, you know, you go and cause a chaos in a Muslim community so that it would appear as if, yes, the Muslims too have been affected. The plan to Islamize Nigeria is not a new plan.
Because, sorry, I was about going there. Reverend Father.
Yeah.
As to ask, I mean, for people watching, they might want to wonder, what exactly is the objective of this alleged targeted killings? What is the end game? What do they hope to achieve at the end of the day? Why does it appear, allegedly, that the Christians, particularly in certain parts of the country, are the target?
Very good question you're asking. A very relevant question as well. And I said to you that it would be about 45 years ago, as a young Nigerian, I'd gone to Zaria for the very first time in my life. And I saw on the trees and on the walls around Zaria the inscription, Islam only. And I wondered then, as a very young person, what would this actually mean? It meant that this country was going to be eventually for Muslims only. And that is the intention of the people who are involved in these killings. What I saw in Zaria 45 years ago, which alarmed me as a young person, I was still in the tertiary institution at that time, has grown to what we are seeing today throughout the country. And you'll see that the lack of tolerance for people who are non-Muslims, lack of tolerance has grown tremendously, unimaginably. So the idea is to make Nigeria an Islamic nation. And we have very clear ideas about how this happens, because we know that all the countries of North Africa were Christian countries as well. And gradually, they began to decimate Christians and to make them pay taxes if they would not become Muslims, and then, of course, to make them perhaps even leave their country and go elsewhere if they didn't want to become Muslims. This is the situation which you will find, for example, in Benue and Plateau State today. People who, in the first jihad, did not succumb to Islam. In fact, the Benue people say that the jihad ended in Benue. And you'll be wondering why Benue is the center of, or the theater of of battle or of killings, put it that way. Theater of killings, to put it correctly, because it's not a battle between two groups, it's killings. Because these people come in the night, they kill in the night, in the morning they disappear, and nobody sees them, nobody knows them. So the idea is to decimate and take over. The Muslims have continually said that the idea is to dip the Quran in the ocean. And so this is the problem that we have at the moment, which is the idea that has been carried out. This is the main reason for what we are seeing.
All right, Reverend Fathers, permit me to come in here. You tried to sort of give, what I call it a bird's eye view as regards what the objectives might be. But again, some would say that many of these killings also cannot largely be said to be targeted towards a certain faith, because there's also the issue of tribe there, right? There's also the activities of terrorists who just maybe want territorial control. So, I mean, how can you differentiate? Is there the capacity or the possibility to truly, really differentiate the objectives, of these various attacks? Because there's also the issue of tribe. Yes, we know religion, but also territorial control, like, the activities, for instance, of the Boko Haram. So is it possible to say that, this fine line or these fine divisions can be identified?
Which tribes are you referring to precisely, may I ask you?
So some, we've had conversations where some would say, a certain tribe in the north looks to expand and take charge. Some have made such allegations. An expansionist, well, I call it agenda, around tribal lines. So I just want to ask, are there divisions here, or are they just intertwined?
There are all kinds of theories that are being propounded by all sorts of peoples about what is happening. Some will tell you it's the farmers herders clashes. What are the farmers herders clashes? There's no clashes between farmers and herders. You move into somebody's farm, you destroy the farm, and when the owner of the farm decides he's going to ask you why you did that, or to ask for reparation, then you say, well, he must be killed so that the next day he is not going to come back and ask you such questions. That's exactly what is happening. What reason would you give for religious men and women who are kidnapped, who are taken and kept away for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, or even more than that? You go into a convent of religious sisters and you take 12 women who are religious women and take them out for 2 weeks, 2 months, or 3 months, and maybe you release them in the end, or you kill some. Priests have been killed, as I said earlier. Religious leaders have been killed. Churches have been burnt. These things are all in statistics, and there is nowhere in the 21st century that has gone through the kind of horror that we're experiencing in Nigeria at the moment. So those who are giving all kinds of, or raising all kinds of theories are only saying this just to be able to tell a story and to create a narrative that may appear appealing to those who want to listen to such a story. But those who are experiencing this are telling their own story of the reality. And that is why a particular bishop from Nigeria went over to meet the US Senate, and the story of Ted Cruz is coming in, because they know that this bishop could not be coming all the way to come and tell lies about parishes of his which have been closed down, about churches that have been burnt, and so on and so forth. So you can come and start talking about tribe. There's nothing about tribe here. You know, it's about a jihad to be able to expand Islam and to conquer and to subdue the rest of people who do not believe, who are not Muslims. This is what has taken place in other countries. Go to Egypt, go to Libya, go to all the northern African countries. You will find that this is the same process, and in history we have learned this. Nigerians are saying we have known the tactic and we are not going to allow this to happen. This is what is happening right now.
All right, Reverend Father.
You know, this is basically the root of what you are seeing now.
All right, so Reverend Father. Reverend Father Alumuku, I would definitely come back to you, sir.
We must tell it as it is, and the Nigerian politicians are only afraid of what repercussions there may be when the U.S. decide that they are going to make Nigeria a country of particular concern and therefore cut them away from getting visas to go to the U.S. and to do other businesses in the U.S.
All right. We'll definitely take a look at this implication. Particularly, we'll also look at the role of the Nigerian government over the years and try to resolve or put an end to this. Stay with us. We will be right back. I still have Reverend Father Patrick Alumuku, the Director of Communication, Catholic Diocese of Abuja, as guest this evening. Thank you for staying with me, sir. Before I let you go, I'd like you in 30 seconds to sort of x-ray the role of the government in resolving this issue over the years. And if you were to sort of advise as a way forward to resolving this matter, what would you tell the government or suggest?
Okay, I like to refer to the statement which is now known nationwide by a certain ex-general, a former general of the Nigerian Army, General T.Y. Danjuma, who say that the military are involved in covering the activities of whether you call them bandits or whether you call them jihadists or whatever name you call them. He said they are the ones who collude, to use his own words, who collude with these people. They clear the way for them and support them. This is a very serious allegation. Nobody has taken time to ask T.Y. Danjuma. In all these years, it's more than 5 years he has made this assertion. Nobody has asked him for clarification. And that is what most Nigerians believe is true. That, in other words, that the government itself is involved in what is happening. It's, ensuring that what I call the jihadists want to do is supported. If the government wanted to end this trouble would have been ended a long time ago. Today, we thank God that Tinubu administration is saying that they want forest guards to go out and flush out the bandits and the terrorists and so on from the forests. Now, again, we are saluting this as a good effort to go to the forest and get these people. But I mean, what kind of ammunitions do forest guards have? What kind of ammunitions will forest guards take, be giving to go to these places that the military did not have?
All right.
So you see, they are playing games all the time and trying to make it look as if they are doing something when actually they are doing nothing and don't intend to do anything at all.
All right, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure having you on the program. Reverend Father Patrick Alumuku, Director of Communication, Catholic Diocese of Abuja. It's been a pleasure having this conversation with you. Once again, thank you for your time, sir.